turn now to the Turkish tech sector, which has produced innovative companies with growing global footprints. Among them are shopping sites like Getir, Trendyol and Hepsiburada, which fine-tune their business models at home and are now making waves abroad. Now, the search is on for the country's next corporate unicorn, as these billion-dollar firms are known. TRTworld's Paolo Montecillo was at this year's World E-Commerce Expo in the Turkish city of Antalya to find out what startups are doing to make their leaps.
Woodion makes furniture for adults, children, and their furry companions. Most of its items are sold in the UK. Now the Turkish firm says it's ready for a customer base that's as diverse as its product portfolio.
We manufacture our products here in Antalya and export them to a couple of countries. But today we are here to find new partners to increase that number.
Woodion is one of hundreds of companies at the World E-Commerce Expo in Antalya. The event links entrepreneurs with potential suppliers, logistics firms, and financial service providers that can help grow their businesses. It's part of what's become a thriving ecosystem that's gotten plenty of attention and money. 2021 was a big year for Turkish startups, with companies across the country raising an unprecedented $1.5 billion from foreign and domestic investors. And 2022 is set to be another record breaker, with firms across the country already raising $1.3 billion in the last 3 months. And as you can see from all the activity behind me, the excitement isn't fading anytime soon. That influx of capital has turned grocery delivery app Getir and shopping site Trendyol into multi-billion-dollar companies. One reason investors have been so eager to get in is because of how successfully local e-commerce firms have navigated the pandemic.
Pandemic has many bad effects to all the world, but in Turkey it boosted the e-commerce because people cannot be able to leave their homes or offices and to make their payments and etc. With the help of the technology and with the digitalization, it was very easy to just click on some buttons and make the payments, and then the good that you ordered has come to your house.
Industry insiders say Turkish companies now have an opportunity to build on those domestic gains and tap foreign markets. And they need not look far. Turkey's location gives it easy access to both European and Middle Eastern consumers.
If you look at the map, you can deliver any goods from door to door within 3 to 4 days to a population of almost 1 billion people in this geography, so that it's a very big market for Turkish goods.
It's an advantage few other nations have, and it's part of the foundation that companies like Woodion can build on. Paolo Montecillo, TRTworld, Antalya.
For more, I'm pleased to bring in Emre Ekmekci here on set. He's head of the Turkish E-Commerce Association and attended the World E-Commerce Expo in Antalya this week. Many thanks for being with us today.
Thank you for having me.
Emre, first of all, virtual marketplaces are among the fastest growing e-commerce sites here in Turkey. Why is that the case, and what are the fundamentals driving this in Turkey?
Well, virtual marketplaces has been around for a very long time in the Turkish market. If you look at some of the big ones, they've been, the oldest one is probably more than 20 years old. So there's a big trust in the Turkish consumer's mind when it comes to online purchases to buy from trusted big companies that have been around for a while. So it is natural for the Turkish consumer to trust these companies. But at the same time, for small businesses to go online, the marketplaces create a very good environment and actually a lot of help in infrastructure, technology, logistics, and almost all the pieces for an entrepreneur to sell their products online.
How difficult is it for these small businesses and these startups to find funding here in Turkey?
Well, the Turkish market actually has been an attraction point of investment for many years. Turkish market actually fluctuates. It has its ups and downs, but the Turkish tech sector has actually been an attraction point for many years. From gaming to e-commerce to AI businesses. So there's all sorts of funding coming into the market because Turkish economy is actually a very big economy. So these companies can actually have a market to sell their products.
And it looks like this country is not only attracting Turkish startups, but also startups and small businesses from the region, really. How and why is Istanbul and Turkey becoming a hub for these regional startups?
Well, if you look at Istanbul, Istanbul is larger than many Eastern European countries itself, right, from a population perspective. And if you look at the entire Turkish population, Turkey is a very big consumer market. It has high internet penetration. It is a consumer market, and it's growing. So for the regional players to come in and test their products here, it's a very good market to test.
In 2019, in 2020, we've really seen that this sector in this country has experienced a record-breaking growth level. And I wonder, for the near future and the medium term, is this growth really sustainable?
Well, we've enjoyed 65% growth in the e-commerce market, during the pandemic years. Obviously, there's, part of it is artificial, because of the pandemic. But what has happened is there has been an enlightenment in the supply side, actually, to move products online. So there has been a lot of investment made by corporations, by small businesses to go online. So, in the next couple of years, we're going to see the fruits of that investments.
Istanbul specifically has been ranked among the top 20 of the world's 100 best emerging ecosystems of startups in the e-commerce and gaming sector. Why? I mean, is it because it's easier to find talent? Is it because of the infrastructure?
Well, talent is always hard to find, especially in the tech sector. But Turkey enjoys very good universities, very good engineering schools, and a very good market that is sizable enough that local companies can actually try out their creativity here. So we have the talent, we have the market, and we have very fierce competition that drives all of this talent to flourish.
We also know that later this year you will participate in an e-commerce event in London. How important is Europe and the UK for this sector in Turkey for what concerns consumers, but also for funding?
Yeah. Well, European market has always been a very big export market for Turkey, and now e-exports is one of the biggest Turkish strategic events. So it's very natural that Turkish companies try to go to Europe, try to go funding over there, and there has been demand from there. So Europe has actually been calling for this, so we're answering the call.
Interesting. And lastly, one emerging industry within this sector is cryptocurrency and blockchain. But so far, the government is looking at it with suspicion. Why? And do you think the government should change view towards this sector?
Well, it's not only the Turkish government. I think it's governments around the world who's trying to find the right answer in regulating this sector while also stimulating growth. We know that in the Turkish government there is some sort of a regulation coming in for this, and it becomes part of the fintech developments that we're going to see in the near future.
Emre Ekmekci, many thanks for being with us today.
My pleasure.